NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell. Sue, usually we, the voters, get to see at least 3 debates between the nominees.
Yep.
This year it may just be 1, although I guess you could argue Trump's been in 2.
Right.
Vice President Harris almost immediately after the debate said she wants another debate. President Trump, you just heard him there. He said not a chance. It's not happening. What do we think is actually going to happen here?
Well, I think Trump is right when he said earlier this week that usually the person who lost the debate is the person who wants another shot, right? But just about everyone, we saw the poll, thinks Harris won the debate, and she asked for another, and she did today, and she's going to keep doing it. So what's happening here, right? So if I were advising Donald Trump, I would tell him to stay as far away from the debate stage as humanly possible. Look, he's not good at debates, so there's absolutely no value in him doing another. And I think Harris continuing to bait Trump by saying, let's have another debate. And I bet you she, or at least some of her surrogates, are going to start saying Trump is afraid to debate. That's going to get him enraged, right? So I'm sure Trump's advisors are saying, don't do it, don't take the bait. But Trump hasn't been listening to them lately. And in fact, today, he did say later that he was open-minded about another debate if Colton, he was in the right mood.
With that in mind, right, I want to point out something that you have said repeatedly here on the air to our viewers, to me, that...
And around the office.
Well, and around the office. But listen, up until the last day of the RNC, the Republican convention last month, you have said that Trump's campaign, his campaign staff this time around, was the most professionally run of all of his races for the White House. I've been on social media all day, right? Many pundits, many Republicans out there have been concerned about some of the people that have been around them lately. What's your take on that? Can you explain that and offer us a little more here?
Yeah, after the convention, there were reports that Trump started listening to his professional campaign staff less and less and less, and then he brought in 2016 campaign manager Corey Lewandowski, right? Lewandowski's back. Also, by Trump's side, Laura Loomer. Now, she is a far right activist. She's been on his plane. She accompanied him to the debate, and she was at the September 11th memorial service on Wednesday. So you may be asking, she's a far right person, what's the big deal? Well, Loomer has promoted the false notion that the 9/11 terrorist attack was a, quote, inside job. It was not. Loomer is such a divisive presence that both Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene and Senator Lindsey Graham, who are on very different ends of the Republican political spectrum, have publicly called on Trump to dump Loomer. Now, that baseless and false claim that immigrants are eating dogs and cats in Ohio that Trump mentioned in the debate stage, Loomer had previously promoted that. So Loomer also posted blatantly racist statements about Kamala Harris. That prompted Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has also been accused of being a racist, to call her post extremely racist. That's the world we're living in today. So Trump said earlier today that he knew nothing about Loomer's racist statements and commented on her spirit that uplifted the campaign. But many think her presence is a representation of a crisis in the Trump campaign. And I got to tell you, Colton, when Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying that you are a racist, you got to look in the mirror.
I think we all had to do a double take when we saw that come across our screens earlier. Sue, as always, thank you. And of course, we want to remind everyone we cover the latest political headlines, both national and local, every Sunday morning here on NBC 10. It all kicks off at 10:30 with Meet the Press, of course, moderated by Kristen Welker. And then immediately after, you can join Corey Smith, political reporter Matt Pritchard, and Sue for the very latest episode of At Issue.